Hello. um, so, yesterday I spent a lot more time worrying, fretting, and frowning than I wanted to. And even though I had in mind a different topic for today, I decided that I probably should harness yesterday's experience and transform it into today's learning opportunity. So we're going to do a little experiment, and I am going to ask for your cooperation. I would like you to frown. So hold that frown. You know how to do it. I've seen you. When you thought I wasn't looking. So while you're frowning, take a moment to observe your mind. And take a moment to observe your body, the sensations, your feeling, your general feeling. So hold that for a second or two. Now take a look at the person next to you or close to you and frown while you're looking at them. Come on, this is not supposed to be laughter. This is supposed to be frowning. Frown like you mean it. And I want you to focus on that person frowning and get a vibe. Get a vibe from that person frowning. And how do you feel frowning back? Observed. Notice your reaction. Now we're going to shake it up a little because we don't like being in that frowning state. So just shake it up. Loosen up. Loosen up a bit. And now we're going to smile. And notice how you feel when you're smiling. Notice your body, your mind. Just observe. Now look at another person close to you and smile as they smile back. And notice how you feel about that. Notice your body, your mind. All right. Observe for a few moments. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can do this experiment again later with another person and see how you react and what you feel. Now, I would like to ask two brave people to share with us a little bit what that felt like, both the frowning and the smiling. Do we have any volunteers? Anyone who can share?
I felt my energy just plummet as I continued to frown, aside from the laughing. But when I held it, I could just feel my body sink and my energy sink. And then the smiling, it brings it back up.
Okay, anyone else wants to share?
Mine doesn't plummet, it hardens. So when I frown, it was hard to frown at Jay, but I tried. And there's a hardening in my countenance, and then there's a hardening in my energy as well. But when smiling, everything just softens, everything gets fluid and moves around.
Okay. Both of you explained that really beautifully. And exactly just as you noticed, I notice too that when I frown, my mind gets very tight and my body gets really tense. And I am prepared to leap, to fly away, or to snarl at somebody. Frowning sends a signal to our mind and to others that we're not in a good space, that we're not receptive, that we're not friendly, that we're not open. It affects our mood and it creates a filter through which we relate to our environment, through which we absorb information. If we're frowning, what we absorb is colored by that mood of negativity, of anger, irritation, pessimism. When we smile, on the contrary, what we're filtering in is guided by that lens of positive thought, of happiness, of lightness, of openness. When we frown, we're likely to feel unhappy and to react to others in a negative way. Conversely, when we smile, we feel happy, we feel open to everything, and others react positively to our smile. Frowning and smiling create a very different experience for ourselves and for others. Venerable Sangye Kadra, who was here visiting and teaching not too long ago, during her recent teaching on transforming suffering, said, even when the problem cannot be remedied, we can still change the way that we respond to it so that we can diminish our own suffering and the suffering of others. So smiling can be a powerful reminder that it is possible to keep our mind positive even in the midst of difficult situations. I am sure that we have all heard and read about the benefits of smiling. The problem is that we forget and we revert to habitual behavior because it's familiar and it's easy to do. So I'm going to read a couple of paragraphs from an article in the magazine Psychology Today. Because I am not an expert, I would like to cite the words of psychologist Dr. Ronald E. Riggio on how smiling affects our brain. Interestingly enough, he begins his article by citing Thich Nhat Hanh, and his words are, sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile is the source of your joy. So that's something that we can ponder. Dr. Riggio continues to say, each time you smile, you throw a little feel-good party, as opposed to a pity party, which I have been familiar with. So this little feel-good party goes on in your brain. The act of smiling activates neural messaging that benefits your health and happiness. For starters, smiling activates the release of neuropeptides that work toward fighting off stress. Neuropeptides are tiny molecules that allow neurons to communicate. They facilitate messaging to the whole body when we are happy, sad, angry, depressed, and excited. The feel-good neurotransmitters, dopamine, endorphins, and serotonin, are all released when a smile flashes across your face. This not only relaxes your body, but it can lower your heart rate and blood pressure. Endorphins also act as a natural pain reliever. Finally, serotonin release brought on by your smile serves as an antidepressant and mood lifter. So these are some of the things that you were feeling as you were smiling, because all of these things were flooding your brain and giving you that uplift that you mentioned, that feeling of openness and expansiveness. Research has also shown that smiling is contagious. So have you noticed that when you smile, people smile back? When you smile, people seem nicer, kinder, gentler. The part of our brain that is responsible for our facial expression of smiling when happy is mimicked by others, is the part of the brain that is controlling the mimicking behavior. Is called the cingulate cortex. It's an unconscious automatic response area. In a Swedish study, subjects were shown pictures of several emotions. They instinctively mimicked the emotions that they were seeing on the picture. What was interesting was if they were shown a picture of someone smiling, they immediately smile as well. And even when they were asked to frown, they couldn't frown. They had to smile. They were prompted to smile just by looking at somebody smile. So your homework, our homework for today, is to smile often, if for no reason other than because we can.
A couple years ago, I was reading one of His Holiness the Dalai Lama's books, and he said in Buddhism, offering a smile is considered an act of generosity.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started trying to smile at everybody when I would go to town and such. And you really do get a lot of smiles back. Occasionally you get someone looking at you like, what's this guy smiling at me for? But mostly people just unconsciously smile back and things go well. And it was really nice. But I like to think of that as an act of generosity because it's something that we can offer to others and ourselves.
Yeah, the author was relaying a story that he went to a cafe and apparently he wasn't feeling very well, and just the fact that the waitress was smiling at him all the time that she was serving him, made him continue to smile for the rest of the time and sort of changed his perspective. So yeah. So he also concurs with that. Thank you.